Set your place on fire.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Hello. Welcome to another edition of the Narrative Podcast, and I'm your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome all my narrators. So here we are again this weekend, another edition of the Narrative Podcast. So, I took a little hiatus from my live, but then I followed back up with, a live on Thursday. I took a little hiatus from the previous week to work on some stuff. And I'm nearly complete on the projects that I'm working on. But but like I said, I try to really keep my word when I say I'm going to do things that I'm doing. If you've been following my podcast, you know I've been working it out, walking it out, manifesting everything I said I'm going to do. I wrote the book, so my transition from the audio platform to the video platform is coming. Just get ready for it. Revamping my merch line, doing the stuff, working on my designs. I had the online Shopify store. So it turns out I thought all my designs was gone. But they got a little library, so all my stuff I designed earlier, it's still there. I just have to load it back up. But I'm still going to come up with some. I still came up with some new designs, as well as my podcast merch. So when all that's available, I'm gonna share that with you on a broadcast, either a live or a full broadcast of the Narrative Podcast, whichever one comes first. But it's like I said, it's nearly complete. I'm drafting a book, my second book, I'm at the manuscript stage, so doing some little fine tune editing, and I'm gonna just be uploading it in sections. It'll be available where the first book is available. So I think now it'll be easier for book number 2. Now I know all the nuances of that platform, all what services they offer and everything. I didn't know anything the first time around. So now I'll be a little bit more versed. So yeah, I'm excited because it's going to be a trilogy. And this book that I'm working on is going to be the first in the trilogy that I'm working on. It's going to be the first book of poetry in the trilogy that I'm working on. So this is going to be book 1 of 3. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm also working on a spoken word mixtape. So getting my beats together for that. It's now for the actual, for the verses, I got that, if you read my poems. So on my blog, I just go off the top. I don't really premeditate what I'm going to write about. I just go, off the top. So a mixtape won't be anything for me, no type of challenge, other than just assembling the beats and mixing it down and all that. But other than that, the actual talent or the talent side of it, got it. But anyway, welcome to the podcast, all my listeners, all my narrators. They already know what the platform is all about. So let me give a brief overview for anybody unfamiliar with my platform. You know what it is, what it's about, and what type of content you're in store for today. So first of all, let's start at the top. The narrative podcast. It's called the narrative podcast because I believe the media weaves a false narrative in the way they portray our people and our culture. So I want to design a platform to rectify that oversight and basically, showcase us and highlight us in a positive light as opposed to the negative way we're always portrayed in the media, movies, television shows, and literature. Um, so it's intentionally done. They do this to primarily sell news, but then also they kind of misrepresent us to, uh, reinforce their position, dominant society's position, help them maintain their socioeconomic stronghold they have over us by, generating propaganda about us and, you know, misrepresenting us to people outside of our culture. So, basically, like everybody that's not within our culture, all they have is negative frames of reference about us, given to them by the powers to be, so that like they don't know anything about us other than what they see on television, what they hear in the music, and the advertisements that they come across. So, on my platform, what I want to do, or what I am doing, is providing positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. As a matter of fact, my tagline is the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by providing positive frames of reference about original people and original culture. So, now that I kind of summed that up, let me get to the original part. So, I noticed, I know, you may have noticed that I keep saying original. I try to say original as often as possible in reference to our people, as opposed to, being called black. In early civilization, black meant something positive. In our, customs and languages, and dialects of languages, customs, and writings. It was a sign of power. It was a sign of opulence. It was very impactful and powerful and empowering for us to be called black. But throughout history, it's been altered to basically, denigrate us, to demoralize us, and oppress us, basically. The powers that be have made it an oppressive word. I also believe in the power of words, and, how, the word black stands now is just something negative. That's what they did to that word. It produces a negative effect. It resides in our subconscious, negatively, and we manifest physical results of it, of that negativity. And you can, if you don't believe me, just look at the state of our people now, and state of our people now here in America and abroad. The overall, we have some, doing really well. We're always hearing stories of, emerging millionaires and billionaires. Like, it's becoming a common thing now among our people, but there are still many of us, living, under the poverty line, at the poverty line, under the poverty line. And a large part of that is, psychological programming and conditioning, especially surrounding the word black. You go in any dictionary and thesaurus and look up the word black. One of the first things you're gonna notice is the only color in the color spectrum in the dictionary that denotes origin, like the only color. Uh, you go up and look at the word black, you will often see, Aboriginal people, or original or Aboriginal people descending or have, ancestry in Africa, something along those lines. And then it goes into all these example sentences and, words describing how to use the word black, and they're all negative, like black, gloomy, desolate, depressed, and then they go into the example sentence like the blackest night, you know, black like a bad emotion or something like that. And then also like the way they have it in dictionary, basically just a nod to the end of all things, and disease or pestilence, excuse me, I always say pestilence, disease, just all things bad, all things negative, the word black is associated with. Now, go look up in the same dictionary and look at the word original. And original has no negative connotation surrounding it. Original often, refers to the first, and in many cases, the best. Nothing really trumps the original, and I think that's more suiting or more proper to, describe our people as opposed to, saying black. Because we were here 5,000 years before, anybody else on the planet. We're the original man and woman of this earth, were and are. We pretty much originated civilization. We originated pretty much every modern day convenience you can think of. We originated it. We started it. It's actual factual fact. We were the original architects. We were the original scholars. We were the original teachers. We were the original philosophers, the original alchemists, original blacksmiths, original journeymen. Anything you could think of, we started it. And contrary to all unpopular belief, we were here first. We were scattered all over the globe, and we didn't get to all them corners of, the globe via slavery. We didn't get here, all of us didn't get here in the Americas via the Middle Passage and transatlantic slave trade or, chattel slavery. We didn't. Our history did not begin with that. But, we were and are the original people, and it's just more powerful, more impactful, and it just, it means something deeper when you refer to yourself as original as opposed to black. Now, not saying I'm ashamed of being black or just think, it just doesn't have a place, because there are some positive things about black. Black, if we're talking genetics, is the dominant gene. If we're talking about just colors and the color spectrum, all other colors derive from the color black. But other than that, the way it's set up in the dictionary, it's all negative connotations surrounding it. We've been programmed and conditioned to react and respond to the word black in a negative way, not just us, but, other people on the planet. And this is why we get treated so poorly from people outside of our culture, because of, what they've done in the English language in regards to black. So, referring to ourselves as original is, actual factual representation of who we are, And then not only that, it unites us as a people because there are so many different types of us. When we say original, because we got like people from the islands, we got people from Jamaica, you know, wherever, all over the world, down under in Australia, you know, in parts of Europe, Britain, like UK, there's like, we're everywhere in the world. And black kind of divides us, but original unifies us. Because, you know, when you say original man or original woman, you know, we can always trace our origins back to Africa. All melanated people can, but, you know, it just, you know, it's symbolic of unity. The word original as well as a word to describe opulence, power, and uniqueness. So that's why I try to refer to ourselves as original as often as possible. So now, you know, now that you know the gist of my, you know, podcast, I'm gonna just tell you a few more little misnomers about, you know, what I'm attempting to do before I dive into the content. So first of all, you know, I call my listening audience my narrators, and I do that because I believe we are all content creators in some small capacity. We all have the power to change the narrative, you know, because people judge you based on, you know, the content that you post online these days. Whatever you post online is like your digital footprint. So what you want to do is start posting positive content. And that's also what I want my listeners to do, to post positive content online, because, you know, people outside of our culture, they're just giving negative frames of reference about us, and, you know, they feed into the propaganda and, you know, make their assertions based on what the information that they're given, and all the information about us that they're given is negative. So it's up to us to post positive content, and that's what I, you know, want my listeners to do, to post positive content. So just imagine if you're always posting negative content, like if we're always posting crime culture, gang culture, pimp culture, whore culture, thought culture, F-boy culture, violence culture. If we're always using our platforms to post all these negative things that feed into these negative stigmas and negative stereotypes about our people, how do you think people outside of our culture is going to perceive us as? So it's up to all of us to post positive content, and that's the ultimate takeaway I want people to listen to this podcast to get from our people. So all my content is directed at our people, but it's free for anybody to listen to. But just know, everything on the Narrative Podcast is, you know, aimed and directed at us. But anybody outside of our culture is more than, you know, welcome to listen to it, for, you know, to become enlightened about us and how to react to us and respond to us and interact with us. But yeah. So another last thing is, you know, it's time sensitive. When I first started podcasting, I had no clue on, you know, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to use my digital platform for. I just knew I wanted to start podcasting. When I would podcast, I would just, you know, hit go and just start talking. And when I did that, I noticed, you know, I wasn't too effective. So, you know, I took a step back, decided to streamline my content. And what I did was I broke it up into sections and gave each section a speaking point, and I timed each section, and I noticed more listeners listening to me. So what that did is made my content more cohesive, and easier to digest and come across as less preachy and, more relatable. And, you can get something out of it. You don't have to clear your whole entire schedule to listen to it. Because when I first started, it was just basically a glorified rant. Now I'm streamlined, laser focused, and precise with the points that I'm making, and easy to listen to. So, that's what I got going for me. That's what I'm bringing to the table in this podcast space. Is just to be like, if I would classify myself, I would be like the easy listener station for podcasting. On the politically active content to select from. Like I'm the most relatable and easiest to follow. As far as like being in like quote unquote the conscious community, like you can just like I'm grab and go knowledge. Like you can just access me from anywhere and keep up with me, but also learn something at the same time. So I'm not super over your head, but then I'm not super plain and shallow and just nothing. You can't get anything from me other than entertainment. So I'm like right in the middle pocket of it. But anyway, so now that you know how my content will be supplied to you, about my my format, about all the things that I'm trying to accomplish on my platform. I will be diving into the content momentarily. I know you heard me say, well, dang, keep on saying you're going to dive into the content, but then you're not diving into the content. Well, when things happen, you have to, as a podcaster, address it. So within our community, before I dive into the content, I have to send out love, light, and healing energy to the family of Lance Riddick. He's an American actor. He has just recently passed away. He's most noted, like his two biggest projects you would know him from would be like The Wire and HBO's dramatic series, Oz. So, dynamic actor. He passed away. His, publicists and people to handle his brand, say it was natural causes. So no drugs or any funny business. He just passed away just recently. So we're going to give him a moment of silence before we dive into the content. All right. Prayers up to that brother's family and anybody that worked with him, knew him, colleagues, friends, associates, family, relatives, extended family. Condolences to you. So now, diving into the content. All right, so getting things started on the Narrative Podcast with my first section. This section is called the promo section. And in this section, what I'm doing is offering business owners the opportunity to receive free promotion for their business, product, or service. 110% free, promotion. All you have to do is hit me up at passionwebmail or poeticpassion.host. And in the subject bar, type promo, body of the email, tell me a little bit about yourself, business, product, or service, and I'll gladly plug it for you on my platform for 110% free. There's no catch, no spam, no nothing. The reason why I'm doing that is to help do my part to circulate, the original people dollar and the original people community. We are due reparations, but until we get them, until it's universal across the board, it's up to all of us to promote each other, endorse each other, and patronize each other. So anybody has a business, product, or service, it's our absolute duty to support them. So at this point, it's not an option. Group economics is mandatory for our survival. We must, support one another. That's the only way we're going to survive. Group economics, like-minded people coming together, buying land, buying property, buying tangibles, all the tangibles that our government will not afford to us, give us things that we're owed. That's the only way we want to thrive. So I'm doing my part to help with that process on my platform. And so, like, if you want the free promotion, all you got to do is hit me up at Passion Webmail at poeticpassion.host and subject bar type promo. It's like the more specific you are in your email, the better the promotional drop will be. So, your business, your revenue increase, and yeah. Now on to the second section is the contest section. And the contest section basically is a contest that I'm running for specifically for my podcast, the Narrative Podcast. It's basically incentive rewards to incentivize people that's been listening, give them some incentive to continue listening, and as well as to draw in new listeners to keep patronizing my platform. So to enter that contest it's the exact same email address that I just gave for the promotion for the email. Hit me up at Passion Webmail, poeticpassion.host. The way I'm separating the two is through the subject bar. So for the Chew On This contest, type Chew On This in the subject bar / or dash shopping while black. And in the body of the email, make sure to include your most recent shopping while black experience, your mailing address so I know where to send your snack, and your type of snack you want. I'm going to send you a bulk supply of it. So it's not going to just be like a single serving type deal. It's going to be a whole big box of, whatever your favorite goodie is. So yeah, that'll do it for the contest section. And now I'm going to dive right on into the heartbeat of the podcast, which is my highlight section. In this section, what I'll be doing is I'll be highlighting businesses owned and operated by, our people. And the purpose of me doing that, I'm doing a whole lot of things. First and foremost, I'm trying to get us to get comfortable with group economics. So, have some businesses worth endorsing to get you to get out there and patronize, your people's businesses so we can grow, the economy in our neighborhoods and provide jobs for us. And, leave, if those businesses are successful, leave something for future generations. So that's one. Another thing is I'm trying to, provide the positive frame of reference, because we don't have any positive frames of references to pull from, like visual frames of reference about success. We view success as, through our eyes, as, looking at white America. We don't have any, like, a whole lot of success stories within our communities. Like, all our reality television shows that we got on television is just us acting a damn fool. Nothing positive, nothing lucrative. So I'm providing a positive frame of reference of, entrepreneurialism. The types of people I highlight in the highlight section are just like regular people that wanted to start their own businesses, had a vision, had a foresight, was just like, they wanted to do something different with their life. They didn't necessarily have all the tools they needed to start. They didn't have like an overabundance of finances to start their businesses. They didn't have, educational background, the ingenuity, the know-how. They knew they wanted to do something. They did it, and they're currently prospering in the field of whatever business, product, or service that they started. And so also in that section, what I'm doing is, showcasing their evolutionary process, their growth process, like how they started the businesses, how they came up with the name, where they got their inspiration from, what year they got established, and just their entire journey, if I find the information. Some days it's just not like that. Like, I scour the internet trying to look for, interviews and such, trying to, basically quilt that blanket for you to give you the positive frame of reference about, how to be self-sufficient, how to start your own business, using, other people's stories to inspire you and motivate you. If you got that in your heart to want to start your own business, like, you don't need permission, and you don't necessarily have to have a plan. Just, just start it. Just have to have the fire in your belly, like these people that I share every week got the fire in their belly, and they just start their business. Also, the types of businesses that I highlight in the highlight section are community based. So meaning, like, they give back to the community. They either pay into a nonprofit organization, or they have their very own nonprofit organization. They do some type of outreach. And then the last qualifying factor, they align up with my theme. And my current theme for this week, and probably on into the end of April, will be businesses associated with the season of spring. Now, spring on the Gregorian calendar, the Western calendar that we use, it says the first day of spring is the 21st, when in reality, that's actually the new year. But anyway, for all intents and purposes, the season of spring. So that's, what my theme is. And without any further ado, diving right on into the highlight section. Check 1 2 2. Okay. I thought I was gone, but I'm here. On into the highlight section. Basically, yeah. I'm sorry, I just had a little brief pause. I got lost in thought. Forgot what I was about to say. These businesses align up with the season of spring. So every spring, what's going on now, What is the one thing you want to do? You want to go out and enjoy the weather. You want a change of scenery. You want to go on vacation. Now, some people like to just, get in their car and just go, hop on a plane and just go. But other people, they like to plan it out. They like to, all the way in, especially in the Four Seasons state, they start planning their springtime vacay, around the Christmas holiday, around New Year's, around January, around December and January, where they're going to go for their spring vacation. For their spring vacation. So these businesses featured in the highlight section are vacation planners to help you plan for that spring vacation. Now, I might recycle it when I get to the season of summer, if I do the season of summer this time around. But yeah. So up first, our first original people business featured in the highlight section is called No Madness Tribe. The proprietor's name that invented this business is Evita Evans Turquoise Robinson. Sheesh, that sounds like a really long Facebook name or one of those social media names, the ones you got to sign up for the membership. You got to use your email address to sign up for the membership, like High Five or Tagged or something like that. It sounds like one of those. But anyway, that's her name. I wasn't trying to. So her business started out just basically as a fun way to express herself. It started out as a YouTube series where she's suggesting places to, go on vacation, visiting places, like reviewing places, like a vacation review. So eventually it morphed into an actual vacation planner situation. So she provides consultations, the whole nine, helps you book flights, book rooms, activities, whatever you want to do on your vacation. You get the whole entire package. So go for people that like to travel. It's very cost effective, very cost friendly. Go to nomadnesstravel.com and start exploring packages today. So give a warm narrative podcast round of applause for Mrs. Evita Robinson. I'm not going to say her entire name because it's like longer than a boxcar on a train. But Miss Evita Robinson and the No Madness Tribe. Now the next business, original people business featured in the highlight section on Narrative Podcast is the Taste Makers Africa. And the business proprietor is the proprietor's name of this business is a one Miss Cherie Robinson. She basically came from grew up here in the States, coming from a Pan-African upbringing. Her parents believed in Pan-Africanism, and they actually at one point did move back to Africa. So she's, worked in many cities in Africa, and she didn't like the overall the stereotypical way that Africa is often portrayed in the media. Like the Sally Struthers ads always showing, the pestilence and the famine. So while there are some, you know, African villages that are, poor, but they got poor villages all over the world. There's places in America that look like little third world countries with, the lack of resources. But anyway, the overall perception of Africa is it's a poor nation, that always showing people with like a gang of flies around them and a little malnutrition belly, but it's very rich, it's very sophisticated. They have luxurious hotels, all the comforts, the modern day comforts you would find in any other like place you visit in the world. They have technology, advanced technology. They have good learning institutions, great colleges. The actual only reason why Africans is coming to America these days is just because they want to just try something different. Like the same way you would just move, just want to just pick up and move to a different state. Like you've been living in your city or state your whole entire life. You want to just something different. Not that you was living bad or down bad. You would just want to see and experience something new. That's the only authentic reason why Africans is coming to America. Not because, there's no opportunity over there, and not because Africa is poor. That's just ridiculous notion to even conceive, because, that's where all the raw material to build anything in the world comes from Africa. All the materials you need for fiber optic cables, anything you would find on the house, a motherboard on a computer, a circuit board on any electrical device, all the materials to construct that comes from Africa. So it's rich in natural resources. It's rich in, opportunities. But the way, the media portrays it, they try to portray it like, a desolate, broke nation, and it's anything but broke. Like right now they're selling out to China, and I don't know why, but they got, point being, I got veered off on a tangent, is like Africa got money, Africa has resources, and so that's been the proprietor's mission, is to showcase and highlight, how beautiful Africa is and how livable it is if you want to move there and vacation there. So she just wanted vacationers to experience the beauty of Africa. That's her, her mission statement. She got the startup money to start her business on a game show in Africa. It's basically like the African version of Shark Tank. She pitched her idea. She won some money. I forget the name of their currency, but it's equivalent to the amount that she won is equivalent to $10,000 US. The exchange rate was like $10,000 US. But that's, she got her Kickstarter money to start the her agency in Africa. Then how she gives back is she actually is, a co-op. So all the proceeds, the bulk of her proceeds that she earns from her business is she funnels it into, kickstarting funds for other entrepreneurs, so they can go to her and audition and, come to her with the business plan, and she will, put them fund their business. She'll not only fund them, she'll also promote their businesses, use all her resources that she has available to promote their businesses, to, like I said, for group economics, to, keep the original people dollars circulating in the original community, keep all these outsiders out of the borders, and, keep on circulating and growing that generational wealth. So give it up for Cherie Robinson and Tastemakers Africa Travel Company. I think it's just called Tastemakers Africa, but it is a travel company, so you probably have to type Tastemakers Africa Travel Company in your browser. And currently, she's only advertising with like Instagram and Facebook, so she doesn't have actually like www dot. But she's like very lucrative with it. I came across some articles. It's like she's like a $2 or $3 billion a year business entity. So give it up for Sister Cherie Robinson and the Tastemakers Africa. All right, so my very last business I'll be highlighting in the highlight section today is this is the Black Adventuristas. So this is a play on words. She tried to combine adventure and sisters, but it's like adventuristas, and it's the Black Adventuristas, and the proprietor's name is Miss Veronica Garnett. Basically, now this business is for the more adventurous travelers, people that like parasailing, people that like rappelling and base jumping and parasailing, like the dangerous stuff. Basically, she does those types of trips. How she started her business is she was she was depressed. She was in a state of depression. And to come out of her depression, she kind of enrolled in this class, like to do like a circus class, high flying trapeze class. So she did that, and after that, she kept on doing other stuff like parachuting, bungee jumping, and she just like the wheels clicked. And she wanted to, create a business. Not only a business, but more like a counseling service for original women going through the same type of depression she was going through. So it's like therapy. These like adventure getaways is like therapy, like basically like crossing off your bucket list. So like doing like dangerous, adventurous stuff. That's the type of things that you will be, in store for the super duper active people that like hiking and all that. Well, hiking's not dangerous, but you know what I mean. Like the super duper dangerous stuff, like the white people type stuff. Like if you're into that, you will love that. Her vacation package, that's for you. Like like bungee jumping, parachuting, parasailing, like anything like they got to do where you're leaving the ground or you're in like mortal danger. That's for you. You want to go check that out. Something exciting, something adventurous. So go visit the Tastemakers or Black Adventuristas. And let me see. I didn't write that in my notes. Let me see if she got a website. Oh yeah, and it says I found another article. It says she's a feminist, a black feminist. Graduate. She also graduated Howard University. I'm trying to look for her sites. But I don't know. It doesn't really say a site. I guess you can just plug her name into the browser and her company should pop up. Black Adventuristas. Yeah, it is. It is actual travel vacation planning company though. I forgot to put in the notes, y'all. My bad. But go check her out. Give a warm narrative podcast round of applause for Black Adventuristas and Veronica Garnett. Now on to my next section. My next section is the spotlight section. And in the spotlight section, basically, I'm giving credit where credit is due. Basically, this is a section where I give a prominent figure in our community, usually in the entertainment industry, their flowers for all notable contributions that they've made to the culture, such as representing us in a positive light, doing some type of, outreach, some type of philanthropy, some type of social activism. Definitely, if they use their platforms to speak on our cause unapologetically, or just the way they carry and conduct themselves with poise, dignity, and grace, speaking intellectually in public, just anything positive, basically. And I spotlight a wide range of people in the entertainment industry, such as recording artists, actors, actresses, comedians, writers, producers, public figures. I've even highlighted religious figures within our community. And I try to 1 week I'll do male, and then the next week I'll do female. So this week I'll be highlighting a female. I highlighted the male last week. Or spotlight, I say, and highlight. I'm getting my own sections confused. Spotlight, excuse me. um, so yeah, that's what the spotlight section is about. I'm spotlighting prominent figures, and my biggest thing that I'm trying to do is trying to, or I am doing, obviously, and I'll tell you how I know I'm doing it in a second, but uh, I'm trying to get people to, our people, to speak about each other in a positive way. Instead of always dogging each other out online, instead of always denigrating each other and slinging mud and airing dirty laundry, trading insults online, like we're the only people to do that. We're the only people to do that. And we've been primarily because we've been programmed and conditioned by dominant society to do it, getting tricked into doing it. Like they incentivize us to do it. Like they got us programmed and conditioned to believe that that's the only way you can earn money online is to, bring down your brother and sister, like talk bad about them, sell gossip to gossip columnists, and just anything you can do, like hop in their comment section and get the trade insults and dragging them all up and down social media. But in this section, what I'm doing is just basically giving them the roses while they're here, telling you what I personally admire about them, and just how they've impacted the culture and all the positive things they bring to the table. That's what I'm doing in the spotlight section. And how I know that, I'm getting my message across is because everybody is, spotlighting now. Because before I added the spotlight to my podcast, the Narrative Podcast, nobody on social media, YouTube, Twitter, whatever digital space you can think of, nobody was spotlighting anybody. Now everybody's spotlighting somebody. You go pull out your device, log in, you will see whatever little show it is. This week on the This and That show, we'll be spotlighting this person. We'll be spotlighting that person. And nobody was spotlighting anybody till I started spotlighting people on my podcast. So, I am causing the ripple effect. The internet makes the world small, so somebody's observing me because, there's too many people doing it now. But I don't take that as a slight or a diss. I'm very proud because my intent behind that is to teach my people how to love up on each other rather than always trading insults and trying to tear each other down online. That's what I'm attempting to do in the spotlight section. Just give a tutorial on how to build your brother up and build your sister up. Or not even give a tutorial, just to remind us how to do that, how to talk nice about each other, get back to our essence, our true nature, which is love, which is enlightenment, but which is nature. But yeah, that's what I'm attempting to do in the spotlight section. Basically getting back to basics. Because, all this insults and talking bad about each other and threatening physical violence towards another one of us that's not of our nature. Like, we inherited that, we picked that up along the way. Like, that's not indicative of who we are as original men and original women. But anyway, today holding down the spotlight section on the Narrative Podcast is none other than Mrs. Some people in the industry call her the mouth of the South. She is very boisterous, definitely articulate sister, very intelligent, but she's very vocal and strong with her opinions, views, and perspectives. Is a cultural icon, to say the least. Mrs. Cheryl Underwood. So born Cheryl Patrice Underwood on October 28th in Little Rock, Arkansas. She moved to Atwater, California. After graduating college, she joined the Air Force and then did the reserves 2 years. And then she got her big break in the entertainment industry. Again, like it's more complex than that, but to save time for my time goal on my podcast, I'm just giving you the streamlined version of her life. Basically, she entered a comedy contest sponsored by Miller Lite Beer Company, and she won. And as they say, the rest is history. She's been in the entertainment industry. Like one of her biggest roles of her career is the movie, the iconic hood classic "I Got the Hookup," the original. And then also, I think she was on the daytime television. I don't really keep up with daytime television. Y'all gotta punch it up. I think it was The View. The Talk, excuse me, something like that. So The View or The Talk. Yeah, it was The Talk she was on. But she's mostly, her most iconic, legendary movie role was the I Got the Hookup. Like, she killed it. That character is still funny, hilarious to this day. That scene, she just had a little snippet scene with John Pops Witherspoon, and it was good gold. But more to the point, the sister's very intelligent, socially, politically conscious, college educated, and just always is just right on par with all of our social issues going on in our community. And she portrays and articulates it in her art form, in her stand-up comedy all throughout her career. She mixes the message in, mixes the medicine in with the with her content, her comedic content, so you can always learn something from one of her comedy shows. Now, a lot of people get on her because she's a Republican Party, but if you know your history, the Republican Party was originally our party. So how we got into the Democrats, like, I don't know, but politically, I don't trust any of them. Republican, Democrat, Independent Party, I don't believe any political affiliation has anything good to offer our people. So it's all BS to me. But yeah. But she always enlightens people about her political affiliation as well as our social issues. And she just, offers her voice to so many charities, causes, and just the way she carries and conducts herself as a sister, she's endured and had to fight so much, so hard in Hollywood, and she's still prospering. In Hollywood with the colorism thing. She's a very dark complected sister, so she had to go through that. Then she also had to deal with the weight thing. So she had to contend with that. And it hasn't been an easy road to success for her, but through that she's like She had all kinds of things going on in her family, but through all that, she stood 10 toes down, and she still is an inspiration. You can still look to her for what it is to um, come out of some pretty bad circumstances and still manage to live a prosperous life, to choose to overcome your surroundings, like triumphing in the face of adversity. She's a living symbol to that. Being in a male-dominated field, and not coming across stereotypical, not being like labeled a mammy, because they try to like offer throughout her career, try to offer her mammy roles, and often for the critics, a whole lot of critics try to say her comedic style, why she's so popular because she's a mammy, but she's not a mammy. She's really very intellectual and politically active and actually doing something, and a whole lot of people to criticize her. When you look at their track record, they haven't even done anything in the community. They just get on TV shows and just talk. But anyway, a warm narrative podcast round of applause for Mrs. Cheryl Underwood. So my next section is the health and wellness section. And in this section, what I'm doing is basically giving health and wellness tips for our people. Like anybody that listens to my platform is more than welcome to utilize and apply the knowledge that I'm supplying in this section. But all the knowledge I'm supplying in this section is directed towards my people to, give us total body wellness, to instruct us in, how to obtain total body wellness, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Those are all the areas that we're being attacked right now. And so what we have to do is armor up. We have to stay in peak physical condition. We have to keep our physical bodies, ready for whatever. We have to maintain a healthy diet, a consistent workout regimen. On the physical side of it, on the spiritual side of it, you have to stay rooted. You have to stay, keep your connection with God, source, or whatever you call yourself believing in, strong. And then, mentally, you have to keep your mind state clear. You have to be in good mental health because, the powers that be are manipulating, trying to control and manipulate our thought process, trying to cause, physical illnesses through bombarding us with negativity mentally, trying to, embed negative things within our psyches. And then those negative things usually manifest into physical ailments. So that's another reason why you gotta, stay in total body health. And then also in this section, you might hear, something in regards to something along the lines of in regards to I lost my train of thought again. Metaphysical things you can do to manifest the perfect harmony and balance and clarity within your life. And today is one of those days. Like usually what you got to look for, if I'm talking about, on the physical side, is like the health benefits of a plant, vegetable, herb, fruit, extract, elixir, something you can like ingest to, maintain your health. Physical exercises that you can stay in good health with. And then I already told you mental and physical things you can do to keep yourself well and feeling good. Today, health and wellness tip is we're going to go into the power of visualization. So, when you visualize something, you have to get an image because your vision is your vision. Like it's a perception of yourself, it's perception of the world around you, and a perception of, all the people you interact with on a daily basis. And, when you practice visualizing, you will attract, what you're visualizing. You will bring that into existence. You will bring it into your circle. You will bring it into your reality. But you have to have a clear mental image of, what you want. And so today I'm going to be giving you a little practice tutorial about visualization. So we're going to visualize some stuff today. We got the vision boards, which work great. You can take your little pictures of the stuff you want and put it up, and then your subconscious focuses on that, and then it'll materialize into your life in some form, facet, or another. But we're going to be doing some multiple visualization techniques today. And then we're also going to project the things you're visualizing because, you need to be visible to help someone. We're going to get somebody some help today. We're going to visualize how to help today. So first of all, visualizing, we're going to get in the mood to visualize. So, all right. What you need to do is get into a space where you're uninterrupted, uninhibited, and can be yourself, totally relaxed, poised, calm, and all of that. And what you want to do is clear your mind. Just sit back and just breathe. Don't visualize anything yet. Now what I want you to do is focus on an object. And the object will be an orange ball. This orange ball is warm. It's glowing. Now just focus on it. Focus. Focus. You see it? It's crystal clear. It's coming toward you. You can feel the warmth radiating off of it. It feels warm. You can touch it. You feel it that it's solid. Now take that ball and bring it toward you. Press it all the way down. All the way down. Like bring it into your chest. Hold it. Hold it tighter. Now you slowly feel it going inside of your chest. It's going all the way down. It's slowly traveling down. Slowly traveling down. You feel it in the back of your spine. Press it all the way down. Now you feel it tingling in your feet. You feel that tingling sensation? Now just hold it. Relax, controlled breaths, in and out, in and out. Now, you want something really, really bad. You wish to have it in your life right now. You know what you want. You know your desire. You see it. It's right in front of you. Looking at you. Touch it. You see it, don't you? Don't focus on how you're going to obtain it. Don't focus on where you're going to get the resources to acquire it. Just focus on seeing it. It's yours. Yours and yours alone. Say it's mine. Say it's mine. Say it's mine. Say it's mine. All right. Now slowly exhale. Slowly exhale. Slowly exhale. It's yours. It's yours and nobody can take it away. It's coming to you. You will have it. That's all you need to know is it's yours. All right, that's visualization exercise number 1. This is for bringing the thing you want into your circumference. Now, visualization exercise number 2. This is how to project your thoughts and surround, a person with your warm, healing energy. This is somebody that needs protecting. You feel it. This is somebody that's been heavily on your mind. And, something's wrong with them, but they won't tell you something's wrong with them. But something's wrong. So this is a good way on how not to worry and let them know that you're there for them without actually telling them you're there. So first thing you want to do, you want to close your eyes and concentrate on this person. Say their name if you know their name mentally, or it might just be somebody you pass by, or just somebody you know of. But get that mental image of this person. And just hold it. You can feel that pain. You can feel their uneasiness and unrest, and their frustration and everything they're going through. You tell that person it's all right. Just say it's all right. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It's all right. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It's all right. Now just keep saying it. All right. It's all right. Visualize the word. It's all right. While still maintaining a crisp picture of that person. It's all right. All right, that's concluded. The visualization tip number 2, and that will conclude health and wellness tip for the Narrative Podcast. And on into my next section. My next section is the speaking point of the day. And The speaking point of the day, I've often covered it, but it's breaking news. So in this section, what I'm doing is covering current events. And the current events is just basically whatever's going on in the world. Current news, breaking news, current events basically. Anything concerning our people, especially things concerning our people. But I'm just unpacking things, current breaking news from our perspectives, especially if it pertains to us. And the reason why I do that is because the media will warp it and twist it and have us looking and sounding crazy. So what I'm doing when I hear about breaking news, when I commentate on breaking news or current events, I'm unpacking it from our perspective. Because if anything in history has taught us, as of late, the person that controls the media controls the masses, the perception of the masses. So whatever image and whatever narrative they're putting out, they want to, whatever agenda that they want to push, they'll control it with their platform. And then another thing is, telling our story, because if you don't tell your own story, you'll have your story told for you. So history has taught us that, especially in concern with our people. We're having our story told for us, and we're having our story told inaccurately. So it's up to us to just basically, if you're going to tell something, tell it right, tell it how it is. That's what I'm doing in the, speaking point of the day section, telling how it is. So all right. First of all, unless you've been living under a rock, a lot of talk has been circulating in concerns with reparations for our people. San Francisco is proposing $5 billion for reparations. Now, this isn't the first time reparations has been awarded to us throughout history, but just not us nationally. Like, people have gotten the reparations. You can prove it to get your reparations on an individual basis, but it takes many years. You have to know the ins and outs of the laws, the federal laws, and especially your state laws, which will enable you to get that. But it's an uphill battle, all kinds of obstacles. But reparations is definitely owed to us because, all the major corporations that benefited from slavery, directly from the cotton industry, especially, is still flourishing today. So places like Wells Fargo is still here today. Places like J.P. Morgan and Chase still here today, benefiting from all that revenue from all them hundreds of years ago. Not only that, our people is the only people in America, and really in America, that's never been compensated by the American government for their suffering. Every other ethnicity group that comes to this shore, if America has wronged them in any way, they have received financial compensation for it. Chinese got financial compensation for the railroad. Italian Americans got financially compensated. Small hat community. I say small hat community because you can't say the J word anymore without getting sued into oblivion or getting canceled. They got compensated twice by Germany and our country. We've never got compensated. We've suffered from the time this country was conceived all the way up until now. There wasn't, a time frame, an era where our people didn't get the short end of the stick from this country. And ironically, we fought to help form this country. Two pivotal wars that helped America become the America it is now. Like if we wasn't in those wars, we would have got our hind parts kicked by the British. Civil War as well. If it wasn't for our soldiers fighting with the North, the Confederacy would have won. Not only that, a black man designed Washington, D.C. So they owe us so much and have done so little for us. We've suffered so much at the hands of our government. We've been, they used to use our children for alligator bait. Okay? They used to rape men, full-grown men, in front of their wives, spouses, and other slaves. They called that butt breaking. Like sodomize a man in front of, his wife. The origins of the word picnic, it's really shortened. How picnics were. It was really called pick a nigga to hang. It got shortened to picnic. This was an actual thing in this country. It lasted all the way up into the 50s. People would get off of school, they would gather around the town square and watch an original person get lynched. They would pack lunches and watch this as a source of entertainment. We've been put in zoos. But anyway, San Francisco is one of the first states to offer reparations. We're definitely due reparations. At this point, it's not up for debate. We've contributed more to this country than any other person in this country, any other group in this country. Without us, there would be no America. But, like I said, the narrative, all of us did not come on slave ships. Contrary to all unpopular belief, the majority of us was already here, indigenously located in the Americas. For the ones that were here indigenously located in the Americas, they called us black, put us on plantations, put us to work. We're more native than Hopi and Navajo and all those other tribes. Actually, those types of tribes are the Eurasians. They're not indigenously located from here. They're coming from the Pacific Islands to the Americas. That's why on job applications, when they get to that section, they say, they put Native American, Pacific Islander, Asian. They put it in that little bracket. Because they're not the original Indian. We are. We're really the original everything, but I ain't got that type of time. I started off telling you we wasn't on every corner of the globe you can think of originally. And no, we didn't come from no damn monkeys. We wasn't no apes, baboons, orangutans, simians, chimpanzees, nothing in the primal kingdom. None of that. That wasn't us. We wasn't dwelling in caves with no cranial overbite. We didn't crawl out of no primordial ooze. We were standing up straight, fully erect, fully clothed, sentient, building things, speaking with diction, creating tools, everything for survival, teaching other civilizations how to survive and prosper. That was us. That was us. We wasn't dragging our knuckles and living in caves. That was some other people. But anyway, reparations, the talk of reparations, San Francisco, they're proposing reparations. We definitely need to keep the talk of reparations going. So shout out ADOS, shout out all other groups, that's got their feet in the soil, doing the work, keeping the conversation of reparations going, because we got to drill it into their subconscious the way they try to drill things in our subconscious about who we are. We got to drill into their subconscious that it's a debt. It's not a handout. It's not a loan. It's definitely not a handout. It's what's owed to us. They owe us. You know what I mean? And then really, it should become in all forms. It should come in money. It should come in free education. It should come in land and property. But however it comes, it's definitely due to us. It shouldn't be non-negotiable at this point, because if we take away everything that we've contributed to America, America will be butt naked and shivering. But anyway, that's my speaking point of the day. And on to my next section. And on my next section in the Narrative Podcast is the final thought or the final word. Sometimes I call it final thought, final word, a phrase. It's just something, basically wise words, something profound, something that'll resonate with you, a gem, a pearl of wisdom, just something to keep on your mind. So, today's final thought is, it's okay to be selfish. Yeah, you don't have to apologize for being selfish. It's all right to have you time. It's all right to put yourself first. It's all right to set boundaries and not have to explain yourself to anyone. It's all right to not have to worry about someone else's feelings about the way you live your life and conduct yourself. It's all right, because in society we made the word selfish a bad thing. Like, you're such a selfish person. You're just so inconsiderate. You're selfish. But sometimes you have to be for self. Because when you're not for self, people will take advantage of self. Then your feelings and your needs won't be validated. So to keep your peace, keep your sanity, keep your serenity, you have to be selfish. You have to be selfish of your own time, how you spend it, whom you choose to spend your time with, and not worry about if somebody getting their feelings hurt behind it. Because I guarantee you that they ain't worried about hurting yours. You don't got to be explaining yourself to people all the time. Now, there is a difference between being selfish and just downright rude. You don't want to go around being rude and nasty to people intentionally. You don't want to intentionally hurt people's feelings. Like you don't want to go out of your way to say something rude and out of the way to people. But it's definitely okay if you don't want to return a text. It's definitely okay if you don't want to initiate contact. It's definitely okay to not explain yourself. I don't owe you an explanation about me if I want to do something, if I don't want to do something. You didn't bring me into this world. I don't owe you anything. You're not paying my bills. But yeah, final word of the day is selfish. It's okay to be selfish. So that's a wrap today on the Narrative Podcast. Good show, good content. Always laser focused, concise, to the point, never droning on. I do veer off putting from time to time, but quickly get right back on topic. And if you like this kind of content, keep tuning in and you will get more of it. I'm slowly transitioning from this audio platform to the video platform. So in closing, I'm just asking all my listeners to do me a favor. Download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Make sure it's the Narrative Podcast hosted by me, Halsey Allen. There's a whole lot of Narrative Podcasts. So you got to make sure it's the right one. It's me, hosted by Halsey Allen on whatever platform of your preference. Wherever you get your podcast from, just make sure you're downloading me, the Narrative Podcast hosted by Halsey Allen. Also, purchase my book titled The Black Card. The Black Card is available in the Poetizer bookstore online at poetizer.com. Purchase that. It's a very good read. 30 great poems, really insightful, a good look into our culture, who we are as a people, very creative. I must say so myself. The book itself is a very thin, sleek design. It's a hardback, very portable. You can, ladies, you can put it really comfortably in your purse. It's not small enough to put in your pocket, but, like I said, it's a real thin, sleek design. It'll make a great coffee table read. I say table coffee. Coffee table read, but it's really good. Go check that out, The Black Card. And then also support my poetry. I got a personal poetry blog called Hallzies Poetry Corner. It's available on blogger.com at www.mrhalziesblogs.com. And the tagline for that is Hallzies Poetry Corner, poetry with a passion, poetry for all occasions. And when you read them, you'll find out why. They're that good. I haven't did any entries lately. I write all my poetry off the cuff. I don't premeditate anything I write. It's just I just sit down and start typing. For the caliber of that poetry, just to be sitting down writing like that without giving any thought about what I'm writing about. The hardest thing I stress over when I write my poetry is the title. And I title my poems after I've already written. So after I finish writing it, then I struggle to come up with a title for it. But other than that, it's right off the cuff. Enjoy it at www.mrhalziesblog.com. You support it by sharing Hallzies Poetry Corner on all your platforms, whatever platform that you occupy. Make sure you share one of my poems to it. Your YouTube, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your whatever you're active on, whatever you like to be on, share a poem from Hallzies Poetry Corner to it. Thanks. Sending you love, light, healing energy. Thanks for rocking with me today. I will be and I will be at you with another full broadcast of the Narrative Podcast this weekend, like I do every single weekend. I also do random lives during the weekday, typically Monday through Thursday. And to avoid missing them, tune in every single day to the Narrative Podcast. And then you won't miss a live broadcast of the Narrative Podcast. And the way you do that, the best way to do it is follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Halsey Allen on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. You will never miss me when I'm live. And also Twitter. Halsey Allen on Twitter. And why should you follow me on both of those? Because when I'm live, this platform that I'm on broadcasts directly to my YouTube and my Twitter. Well, that's it, and that's all, y'all. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of the Narrative Podcast. Sending you love, light, healing energy. I'm Halsey Allen, changing the narrative one episode at a time. I'm encouraging all my listeners to change the narrative one social media post at a time. Till next time, Halsey Allen in the Narrative Podcast, signing off. And it's like that.
Put a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of set your place on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit, put a
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.